With the release of Adventures of Buck Wild, we now have 6 Ice Age films. So today I thought it was time for me to stop and rank all 6 Ice Age films from the worst to the best. Please note that everything that I will say in this video is just my very own opinion. My name is SWNation. If you are new to the channel, and you are free to comment down below your ranking of all 6 Ice Age films ranked from the worst to the best, just like me, or you could just do your favor. Also, please note that going inside of this video, I have a lot of nostalgia from the Ice Age films. I grew up with them. I had the DVDs. I even had some of the bootleg movies before, we found out that it was illegal. And I just remember seeing teasers for Continental Drift and also Collision Course. And now here I am watching the 6th film and ranking them on the YouTube channel. Films that I grew up watching. I'm now being able to talk about them. Also, please don't forget to check out that Twitter. It's going to pop up on the screen right now. And yeah, with that being said, guys, let's just get right into the ranking. Kicking off the list at number 6 for me has got to go to The Adventures of Buck Wild. The latest installment to the franchise is easily the worst. A cheaply made spinoff that doesn't add anything significant to the franchise at all. Simon Pegg back as Buck is very fun to me. He was actually what I was excited for going into the film. But the voice cast didn't return, and they had to get cheap impersonators. The story sucks, and the animation is just bad. And the fact that Disney shuts down Blue Sky Studios and announces a new Ice Age for Disney Plus just to have it turn out this terrible is wild to me. Disney just does not know how to take care of other people's property. It's a chore to get through, and for something that should be entertaining, it wasn't. I would have appreciated it a little bit more if it was the pilot to a TV series, but it's not. It's literally a feature film that has of the same runtime of the rest of the films. Kicking off the top 5 list for me has got to go to Ice Age 5 Collision Course. Collision Course came and went. A lot of people forgot about it, and yeah, it's forgettable. Till this day, a lot of people forget that Collision Course, is, it's a part of the Ice Age franchise, and also it was the last Ice Age film. This movie came out in 2016, and nobody talks about it really, except for the fact that, they talk about it negatively. And yeah, it's, besides Buck Wild, this is the worst of the franchise. Up to this point, it's clear that the series is now running on fumes. The jokes were stale. Everyone had to have a love interest, and it started being more modern, with them cracking jokes about the original 3. They do yoga now. They also have a bar and talk about their women issues. We also have this said in the beginning of the film.
And by the way, you look nothing like your profile picture.
But there is some positives though. The animation is just fantastic, and it really felt like it was trying to come full circle with Manny learning to let Peaches go. But the lead up to that is so out of character. And going back to the original 3, Sid, Manny, and Diego, they barely got any closure together. 5 to me is tolerable at best, and it's always fascinated me till this day. It's just not the one that I want to rewatch. At 4 for me is Ice Age 2 The Meltdown, the most watched Ice Age film for me. It was the one that I owned on DVD, and it was the first one that I owned on DVD, and I watched it constantly. Ellie is such a fun addition to the films, and this film manages to give the original 3 some sort of arc. Even though the fearless Diego is now afraid of water, the arcs of Manny and Sid are actually pretty good to me. The Meltdown is the one that I've always watched, but also it's the one that I felt a little bit bored by on this rewatch that I did last week. But I really love this film. It's the film I grew up with. The arcs are great, the stakes are higher, and even if Ellie thinking that she's a possum is kind of dumb, in hindsight speaking, I can't say it's a bad film. Scrat also has some very fun antics, and probably the best antics inside of the series. But with all that being said, it's not the one that I'm going to pop in every time. Kicking off my top 3 list for me has got to go to Ice Age 4 Continental Drift. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I know a lot of people hate on Continental Drift and Collision Course, and I tolerate Collision Course, but I really like Continental Drift. I do. Besides the fact that Drake and Nicki Minaj is in this film, I really like it. I can't deny that. I can't deny that. I've loved this film for 10 years. And it's crazy to think that the film came out in 2012. Like 10 years, almost 10 years now since Ice Age 4 has been out. I remember watching the first trailer for this film, being so excited because arguably this was the most popular the Ice Age franchise has ever been. The film just feels huge. It feels like it has a big scale, and it feels like this is the Ice Age movie you want to see in theaters. You want to see this one in theaters. All the merchandise, all the toys. I had the 3DS video game. I still have it. Like, I think I still have it. If I find it, I will put it up on screen. I still have that video game. This movie just feels like Toy Story 4 to me, except for the fact that Toy Story 4 is better by far. But it feels like after years since the last film, the OG cast is back, and let's just tell a large, fun story about a mammoth trying to get back to his family while also fighting pirates. The pirates are just a fun addition, including Peter Dinklage as Captain Gut. It's just fantastic. It's never boring, it's entertaining, but I have to say, they focus more on comedy and cliches and hijinks more than the actual development and writing for our characters. But overall, Continental Drift, probably the most popular Ice Age film, for me, it's really good. My runner-up at number 2 is the first Ice Age, one of the freshest animated films I have ever seen. It's so entertaining. This was always the one I tried to avoid because, the animation wasn't up to par as the second film, and it just wasn't as enjoyable to me as the second and third one. But man, when I rewatched this film last week, and it's been years since I've seen these Ice Age movies, so I went in probably a little bit more blind than I've ever been for any rewatch that I've seen. I mean, except for Hotel Transylvania. But for the Ice Age film, it's been almost 7 to 8 years since I've seen these films. So when I rewatched this one with a more critical eye, I was surprised on how great it actually is. Right down to the lively set of characters that you just enjoy and find likable, but also you find something about them that's well written enough to when they end the film, it's satisfying and they're in a new place than when they started. Manny's tragedy, as we learn through the caveman paintings about what happened to his family, and then you see why he's so cold, but through him trying to get this child back to its herd, he learns to find a new herd, and he learns to warm up a bit. Same with Sid. Sid is lonely. He's been abandoned by his family, and he finds refuge. He finds a new family in Manny and Diego, and Manny's and Sid's loneliness, they're able to share that. They're able to share that connection. That's what makes their chemistry work so well. And going to Diego, who has a pact, who has a herd, who has a family, but easily you can see that they are an abusive family. And we see him go from this fierce saber-toothed tiger to an actual nice guy. These arcs are something that's adult and mature in a film with a buck-toothed squirrel named Scrat. And Scrat just steals the show, man. He's such a W mascot. It's a shame that we won't be seeing Scrat again as a mascot because he was just... It's one of the smartest ideas ever to make a buck-toothed squirrel. The first Ice Age is just a great film. It redefines the definition of what family means. But coming into my number 1 for me has got to go to Ice Age 3 Dawn of the Dinosaurs. I'm not going to lie. It's because of nostalgia. I have a personal connection with this film. Dawn of the Dinosaurs is the Ice Age film that I had on bootleg. I remember the disc stopping almost every 10 minutes, the glare from the camera on the screen coming to my TV screen because, the guy was pirating the movie in the theater, but I didn't care. I was young and I was thoroughly entertained by this movie. Ice Age 3 takes the herd to a new, lush, and beautifully animated environment. And on an animation scale, this is the best animated Ice Age film. These are the best designs in my opinion. The film had also found a way to give some sort of aging development to their characters. Manny is now married. He's expecting a child. Naturally, he's growing away from the original three. Diego sees that. He believes that he's losing his edge. He wants to have a life of adventure. Naturally, for a character of his stature, I would see why he would move farther away from the original three. And Sid, seeing the original three being broken up, fearing that he may never really truly belong to a family, because this is really the only family that he has. He longs for a family, and then he gets delusioned by the fact that these eggs are now his children, and he adopts these eggs, desperate for family. I think naturally, for each of these characters, it makes sense why they grow farther apart. Introducing a new character in Buck Wild, which is just the most interesting character that you can do a spinoff with, and they messed it up, but that's neither here nor there. And the action is tense because Ellie is pregnant. That's the best part about this film. For me, when I was rewatching it, it kept me tense because of the fact that Ellie is pregnant. At any moment, the baby could come out. And at the same time, we're doing so many dangerous stunts and some things are not safe. All of it just worked for me. The thing that Ice Age 4 was trying to go for was having a great blend of comedy and story, and they kind of failed at it a little bit, whereas this film succeeds at it. Dawn of the Dinosaurs will always hold a special place in my heart. This is why Ice Age 3 Dawn of the Dinosaurs has to come in at number 1. Alright guys, that is it for the ranking. Please know that everything that I did say in this video was just my very own opinion. My list was certainly not the right list, it was just my list. And you're free to comment down below your ranking of all 6 Ice Age films, ranked from the worst to the best, just like me. Or you could do your favorite. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter that's going to pop up on your screen right now. And also don't forget to come back in the future for more rankings and reviews here on the channel. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to turn on those post notifications. That's like the first time I've ever said something like that. So unoriginal. But yeah, turn on the post notifications so you know when I upload a new video. And yeah, with that being said, I will see you all next time. Peace.